Ever wondered why the DCV has to be positioned on top of the badge, next to the tally roll, like this? Well, here's your answer. It saves time. They can tell at a glance that both totals match, and in clearing, every second counts. I never wondered why each check must be the right way up and facing the right way too. If it isn't, it won't be read by the automatic reader sorters. So if you can check your checks before sending them off, they can work a lot faster at this end. With anything up to £150 million worth of debits going through the system at any one time, it's vital that clearing keeps track of it all. So, before being sorted, the checks are loaded into these trays. Your DCV goes with them to identify which branch the checks came from. Each tray load is identified too, so that any check from any branch can be quickly traced and located. At the same time, your tally roll is placed in a bag along with what's called a tray identifier. We'll see why in a moment. But if you've ever wondered why debits can be sent here in a random order without being sorted into banks, here's your answer again. R is for reject, any check the machine can't read, and there are plenty of those, as you can see. Because although these machines are very fast readers, nevertheless they're also very fussy, so if there's anything wrong with the way a check has been encoded at your end, then they'll chuck it out as a reject. These machines can't read checks that you've stacked upside down or back to front. They can't read them either if your till stamp is underneath the amount you've encoded on them. And they can't tell the difference between a partially erased encoding and the one you've encoded on top of it. And of course, if someone forgets to encode a check altogether, out it goes as a reject. It's important to remember what's happening here. In the space of only an hour and a quarter, 600,000 checks dispatched by you have been resorted into the banks they've been drawn on. At the same time, the amount you've encoded on each of those checks is being printed out, along with your DCV totals. Most of the checks go straight through the system without any problem, but if a check is rejected, it has to part company with its original batch and go off to the reject room. In an ideal world, this room would be empty the way it is now. But of course, human frailty being what it is, it's always inundated with rejects, and that means a lot of work. Inside each of these bags are the rejected checks, along with the tally rolls they put in earlier at the start of the clearing process. They've now got to be reconciled to the branch which sent them, using the reader sorter printout as a checklist. They start by totaling up the rejected checks received from that particular branch. Then, they consult the reader sorter printout to see if the difference shown there agrees with their reject total. The difference figure is the difference between the amount you encoded on your DCV and the total value of the checks the reader sorter was able to read. That's just one reason why your DCV is an absolutely crucial document. If the figures match, the job's been done in a matter of moments. But if they don't agree, that's when the pressure is on. Most problems at this stage are caused by the branch's DCV, either because it's wrongly encoded, or has a faulty encoding, or because it's missing altogether. The average DCV probably takes 7 minutes to sort out, a huge waste of time in a department where every second counts. Now this one's a classic, a batch of checks from the branch in a different sequence from the tally roll. So when they're trying to find out why the difference shown in the printout doesn't agree with their rejected debit total, they've got to search through the tally roll item by item to match each amount to the printout. That means searching through hundreds of checks. And even for a team as experienced as this one, it'll mean wasting at least 20 minutes. Mind you, they've seen just about everything here, including branches who make a last-minute addition to their tally roll, re-encode their DCV accordingly, and then forget to put the check in. That takes the people here about 10 minutes to sort out. Then there's the check that bounces with a till stamp that's unreadable. So when it gets to the branch of the bank it's drawn on, they've no idea where it came from. So obviously they can't return it. So it's often months before it finds its way back here to clearing accounts. And that means tracking it down among the tens of millions of checks that have gone through the system in the meantime. Incredibly, it usually takes less than an hour to identify which branch it originally came from, thanks to the efficiency of their audit trail. But of course, there's a TSB customer somewhere out there who's likely to be very upset by what's happened, unless he's moved his account and can't be traced, in which case there's a TSB branch about to discover that they've got a write-off, all because the till stamp was unreadable. But for clearing accounts, the problem that can waste the most time of all is the tally roll without a till stamp on it. If it slips through clearing and rejects, it could end up with no one knowing which branch it comes from or which day's business it refers to. And with well over 1,000 batches of checks to choose from, it could take up to an hour to identify it. So if you're ever tempted to feel that a single small error on your part can't possibly make any difference, think again. By the time that error arrives here, it's magnified thousands of times, because whenever you decide to take a chance and cut a little corner, you can be quite sure that a lot of your colleagues are doing precisely the same thing, all at the same time. So it's clearing that has to clear up after you every single day of the week.
Still at number 10 with Upside Down on the Wrong Way Round, the rejects. And at number 9 with You Make All the Difference, Debbie and the Credits.
Wow.
Up to number 8 from the DCV's I Can't Get Encoded With You. And still at number 7 for the 10th week running, the Checkers with Erase Me.
Wow.
This week's number 6, a new release from the Vouchers, You Make Me See Double.
Wow.
And a new chart entry at number 5, the DCV's again with Don't Get Me Wrong. Up to number 4 with I Know When I'm Not Needed, DCV Extra. And straight into the number 3 slot, a brand new remake from the Missing Stamps, Tally Roll Blues. Still at number 2, the haunting sound of I Can't Read You Cause You're All Mixed Up, another great number from the DCV's. And this week's number 1 for the umpteenth month running, that all-time hit from the DCV's, Baby, How I Miss You.
Wow. They have their problems here too, although the daily volume of traffic is only a quarter of what is pouring into debit clearing. In third place on credit clearing's hit list is the bank summary without a till stamp or a stamp so faint or badly smudged that no one can read it. So time is bound to be wasted at regional head office on reconciliation, and it could be your branch that won't receive settlement on the correct day. And in second place, errors on the bank summary, usually in the bank-by-bank total. But the winner this week, and in most other weeks for that matter, is the joker in the pack, a credit in the wrong batch. In the normal way, it would have gone all the way through the clearing system and into Lloyd's Bank, stayed overnight, come back here to be redirected and sent off to NatWest. So someone's salary would have arrived 2 days late. Good job it's not yours. It's important to remember that at credit clearing, they don't have time to check whether or not you've put a joker in the pack by mistake. So when you're sorting credits into banks at the branch, that's the last time it's checked before they all go through the clearing system. So everyone's relying on you. Well, it's 11 a.m. now, so we're off to the Central Clearing House in King William Street with a final load of debits and credits for all the other clearing banks. Most of them have gone over there already, and it's less than 5 hours since our countdown began. The whole operation is very tightly scheduled, so we better get moving. We're not allowed to be late. When we're dropping this lot off, we'll be picking up another load, debits and credits for TSB this time, and taking them back to your clearing department. So they'll be spending the afternoon going through the whole process again in reverse. See you later. Well, that's just about it. We hope we've given you some idea of the scale of the clearing operation and of the speed they have to work at every day to meet a very tight deadline. And you'll have realized by now that a lot depends on you, on the care you take to get your end of it right. So next time you're encoding and the pressure is on to let the NPA balance so that everyone can go home, spare a thought for the people in clearing, especially when you're working on these. As you've seen, the DCV is not only a vital control document right through the clearing system, it's the document used by TSB to settle each day's business with all the other banks, and with your own branch as well. So think of it as the double care voucher. It'll be a great help to clearing in their daily race against time.